You think confidence comes first, and you're wrong, and it's killing your dreams. A lot of voice actors are keeping a dangerous secret, and that is they're waiting for enough confidence before they send that email, raise their rates, or even call themselves a professional. But confidence is not a requirement for action. Hell, it's not even a good byproduct for waiting or for training. Confidence is built in the act of doing. The confidence trap is real, and it can destroy your shot at a thriving voiceover career before you even get out of the gate. We're going to talk about it today. Now, before we get rolling this week, we want to give you our free resource of the week, our free source of the week. And this week, it's the Voice Actor's Risk Log, your weekly blueprint? Weekly blueprint for building real confidence and career resilience. It's a free resource. You can get that now. We'll put the link and the description in the show notes. Go get it. It's free. Why not? Now, if you're like most voice actors, you've probably spent a lot of time listening to podcasts, attending webinars, maybe even splurging on that dream mic that'll flesh out your home studio. But when it comes to telling a casting director or an agent or even a friend of yours that you're a voice actor, you freeze. I'm just not ready yet, you think to yourself. I'll start sending those emails when I'm a little bit more confident. I know my work still needs a little more polish, maybe after a few more classes. Now, that's not laziness, that's not lack of ambition, it's what psychologists call avoidance disguised as preparation. I call it the confidence trap, and in VO, it's everywhere. Your brain is a master storyteller. It whispers logical, comforting stories that are often bald-faced lies. You need to be really confident before you put yourself out there, it says. Preparation, while important, it's important when it comes to performance training, preparation can become a safe room where you convince yourself that you're just one class, one demo, one webinar away from being ready. Meanwhile, the weeks blend into months, they blend into years, and you sit around and wonder why other people, often not as talented as you, are continuing to book. Let's meet Alex. Alex was the envy of every Zoom webinar. Great audio, grounded connected reads, the ability to connect to just about any commercial style you could throw her way. But month after month, Alex's status did not change. Not working. Why? Because every time she sat down to hit send on a cold email to an agency, doubt crept in. What if I sound desperate? Do I even belong in this market? I'll wait till I've built up some more confidence. Over the course of 2 years, Alex sent 3 emails. Now let's meet Jamie. Jamie, by contrast, barely even knew what headphone bleed was. Jamie fumbled through learning Audacity and stumbled through local meetups, but she sent out 10 emails a week to prospects. She still stumbled on her in-person introductions, but she kept going. And she called herself a pro long before she ever felt like one. Well, you can probably guess what happened by the end of the year. Jamie had landed 3 new recurring clients while Alex was still getting ready. Look, if you only feel confident in things that you have absolutely mastered, you're limiting your growth to safe, well-practiced zones. Voiceover is a performance craft. Ask any actor, any stage actor, any voice actor. They will tell you that confidence just doesn't show up because you ask nicely. It's earned through repeated exposure to embarrassment and mistakes, fear and discomfort, and surviving living to try again another day. Just like a muscle, confidence grows through resistance, not from waiting around for conditions to be perfect. Now, much of the confidence game is really just perfectionism in disguise. Perfectionism seduces you with lies like, well, nothing leaves my inbox until it's absolutely flawless. But perfectionism is just a mask for fear. Fear of looking silly, fear of embarrassment, fear of confirming your worst suspicions of your limitations. Perfection keeps you inside your own echo chamber. Social psychologist and author Brené Brown says that perfectionism is a defensive move. If I look perfect, act perfect, and sound perfect, then I can avoid judgment and shame. And here's what science tells us, that the more you do a scary task, the less scary it becomes. It's called habituation. The first outreach email might put a knot in your stomach. The 10th might still leave your hands sweaty, but your heart rate comes down. But by the 100th, you're not thinking much of anything anymore. You're just doing. Every time you act in the face of fear, your brain rewires a little. And that's how you gain tiny increments of real earned confidence. Not because you stood back and prepared more, but because you moved forward, did more. So, do it unprepared. Do it anyway. Audition for that gig you don't think you deserve. Send the email before you think the wording is just perfect. Post your demo while your inner critic is still yapping away. Record your results. Reflect, course correct, and repeat. This isn't about leaping blindly, guys. It's about simply moving forward before you feel ready. Look, in the end, you're not avoiding failure. What you're avoiding is feedback. Casting directors and even many clients are not the final judge of your talent. They're just the next link in the chain, and the rejection is just data. I promise you, you will not die if you get rejected. And if you weaponize rejection as feedback, then you'll iterate faster than 90% of all the voice actors out there who are just idling in the preparation zone. Instead of the question, did I feel comfortable today? Ask the question, how many uncomfortable things did I do today? Quantify your discomfort. Track those things that make you uncomfortable. How many auditions did you send out today? How many cold outreach emails did you send out today? How many cold calls did you make if you call cold? How many network events did you go to this month? Growth. Being uncomfortable is your new goal. It's not comfort. The real reason we often delay is not because we're lazy. It's to avoid embarrassment, shame, rejection, or public failure. We mistake mental or emotional discomfort for danger when that's actually the key to leveling up. Ask any top performer, voice actor, athlete, corporate success story. They're not fearless. They're just practiced at feeling the fear and then doing the scary thing anyway. Okay. Instead of fighting nerves or anxiety, practice noticing those emotions, those sensations, and then moving forward in spite of them. Label the feeling without judgment. Oh, look, there's fear again. Looks like I'm about to do something important. The confident person, guys, is not the person with no nerves. It's the person who acts anyway alongside the nerves. So, want to develop your confidence? Here's a quick 4-step plan. Step 1, 86, the perfectionism and the procrastination. Acknowledge it. More preparation ain't going to create readiness. Name your pattern. Are you a collector? Are you collecting classes and gear and to-dos that you need to perfect? And write that stuff out. Share it with an accountability buddy, with an accountability group, in a voiceover community. Make your avoidance visible, and it starts to lose its hold. Step 2, commit to scary firsts every single week. List 5 actions that scare you. Cold email, audition for a national spot, DMing a studio manager or agent, and schedule them before you think you're ready. Then evaluate your week by what you did, not by what you felt. Step 3, I touched on this earlier, join an accountability group. If you can't join one, build one. Surround yourself with action takers. Not perfectionists, but people committed to messy, public action. If you stumble, you let the group see it. If you win, you celebrate it with the group. Sharing victories, wins, compounds your confidence. And sharing failures dissipates the shame. And step 4, document, reflect, and repeat. Keep, for example, a risk log. Wow, what a coincidence. We're offering you a free template of one this week in the free sources. Write down the uncomfortable actions you take, the feedback that you get, and your emotional, mental state of the day. And over time, you'll spot the patterns. Your discomfort will begin to ease, your action will compound, and finally, you'll look up one day and you will have built real, earned confidence. Now, the gap between aspiring, God, I hate that word, and pro voice actors, it isn't talent, it isn't gear, it isn't industry connections. It's simply this. Pros act before they feel confident. Amateurs wait until they feel confident to have an excuse to act, and they get left behind. Every booked job, every client conversation, every leap outside your comfort zone adds up and compounds until suddenly there's no looking back. And when it comes to training, don't just train your performance, your craft. Train your resilience. Seek out training that forces you to act, not just to prepare. The best programs don't just fix your technique. They force you to put your work in front of people who might say no. Look for coaches who challenge you, who track your actions, and who make you feel a little uncomfortable. If your training only builds comfort and keeps you in a safe little space, you, my friend, are not getting your money's worth. Confidence is not the lack of nerves. Confidence is proof that all the leaps you've taken, all the auditions you sent in but didn't think you were really ready for, all the no's that taught you to refine, to iterate, and to get better, not to cower and to retreat. Let go of the myth in your mind that confidence is required for action. Flip the sequence. Act first, confidence follows. If you take nothing else from this episode, I want it to be this, that confidence is not the starting point of your career, it's the reward. If you keep waiting to feel ready, it's almost certain that you're never going to get there, no matter how much you train. Every full-time voice actor that you admire acted when they were still scared out of their mind, when they were not as prepared as they wanted to be, when they were at their most vulnerable. The only way to win is to acknowledge the fear and then do it anyway. Start before you feel ready. Join a group that rewards risk and watch your career accelerate no matter how shaky those first few new steps may be. If this video helped you, if it brought you value, if you think it'll bring somebody else some value, please share it with them. If you're watching us on YouTube, give us a like, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know when we publish a new video every week. If you're listening to us on the audio podcast, we'd love you to follow us, and maybe even, if you're so kind, write us a review. That would be super helpful. It will help us find other voice actors to help. The more we exchange opinions, ideas, strategies, and tactics on this channel and in the larger community of voice actors worldwide, the better, stronger industry we will have for everybody. Thanks so much for your support, and we'll see you back here again soon. Cheers.